Paul Turner here with the DiscipleProject.net, here with another project. We're doing a bit of a facelift, if you will, in our youth room because we are renaming our youth group to Lift. We were Fusion, now we're going to be Lift, and that means that we have to change everything over. Maybe you know the feeling when you go through a name change. You want to change the stage and some of these other things, and so I want to show you today what we're going to be doing. The first thing I did was go ahead and measure our wall, and this, right where this mic stand is about halfway, because I'm going to put a big LI and then an FT right in the center of this back wall. Let me show you what we're going to be using to do that. All right, as you can see here, we have some styrofoam. You can buy this at Lowe's. It is 14 by 4, I believe, inches, and as you can see, it's quite large there, as you can see, and that's where I'm going to be cutting my letters out from. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that because I have what's called an electric knife to be able to cut those out, and I'm going to show you that it's not as difficult or as daunting as it may seem, but I'll show you how to do it, and then we'll kind of go from there. All right, so before I even get started working on my letters, I'm going to go ahead and measure the wall here for what height I want my letters to be. So let me come over here and take a little measurement. Let's see. It looks like the letters will be about 3 feet. About 3 feet should be sufficient, because what's going to happen down below here, the big project is that I'm going to be making some chevrons. You know, those are the things you see on the patches of military and things like that, kind of like this, or on the Chevron gas station, obviously, right? But they look like this, and they're going to have several rows of chevrons, hopefully going upward, right? Because the two things we want to do in our youth ministry is, number one is we want to lift up Jesus, and number two, we want to lift one another up in encouragement. And so these arrows will be pointing and be lifting upward, and hopefully they will all be lighted and be chasing lights and kind of give it a cool effect. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Like I said, 3-inch letters. Let's move on to how I'm going to make my letters. All right. On this sheet of styrofoam, there is a clear plastic coating right here, as you can see. And so the first thing I'm going to do is take that off so that we have just clear styrofoam to work with. All right, so before I get into any kind of cutting on the styrofoam there, I want to make sure that my size is going to be right. So I took some old pieces of cardboard. By the way, save all your cardboard, okay? If you can put it and decently put it somewhere where it's not going to make a big mess in your room or closet or whatever, save all that stuff, because you're going to eventually use it for something else. So these right here, these just pieces of cardboard I had for various things, they're about 4 feet long and about 2 feet wide. So that's kind of a good measurement there as far as that goes. But I need to make sure that these are going to be the right size for that wall. I'm going to have to cut them down a little bit. So let me go over here, put them on the wall, and see what they look like. Okay, so as you can see, I just stapled up one staple in there. I put the 4x2 pieces of cardboard there, and that's about how big I want them, but they're 4 feet long, and I said earlier that I like them about 3 feet. So let me just see how they look and get a perspective on this. Let me come out this way a little bit of how big they'll look. So roughly, that's kind of how big I want my letters. But the problem is, being 4 feet long and not wide enough, I'm not going to have enough space, let's say, to make the L and make the L part, the bottom part of the L, big enough. So what I may do is I either may extend it a little bit and kind of tape it up and make my own L, make it as big as I want to be, or I will simply have thinner letters, which is okay, but I prefer to have them fatter. So we'll stick around and see which way I go. All right, so I've got it set up. I went ahead and mapped it out here. I kind of eyeballed it. Now it's backwards to you, but you can see it's L-I-F-T. I went with staying with the 4 foot length because I think it looks good. Tell me what you think. Do you think it looks good? Leave me a note in the comments there. And so what I did is I just took a box cutter, measured it out, the kind of the size I wanted to go with, and that's what I got there. So what I'll do now is I'll take this off the wall little by little. I've got to fix the spacing a little bit up there, but then I'll take that, lay it on top of the styrofoam, and then cut my outline from there, and then I'm going to use my electric knife. All right, so I'm glad I stuck with the 4 foot length, because this way, as you can see here, it takes up the whole thing there as 4 foot long. As I didn't remember when I did that, it was 4 feet long. So I'm glad I went with that, because that way there is no waste in anything I'm doing there. I don't have a bunch of extra pieces or anything, but I have what I need. So I'm gonna go ahead and then take my marker, kind of mark this out, get a good straight edge, because this is a little bit janky because I did it with the box cutter and eyeballed it and all that. But I'm gonna make this really, really smooth, do some good lines on it, and then I'm gonna cut it with the electric knife. So, be right back. All right, so I have laid my L down, as you can see here. I went ahead and did my straight lines. I went ahead and got a metal straight edge, just a yardstick, metal yardstick, 3 feet. And what I did is I went ahead and put a dot at the various corners, and then I went back and I just went and laid the straight edge down and went ahead and made some lines there so it's nice and clean. Now it's time to go ahead and use the Styro Cutter Plus. Now I bought this from Michael's, so we're going to test it. You know, always test everything, by the way. You always get something and just test it to make sure it's going to do what you're going to do. They tell me it heats up fast. It is a single, just a single rod, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay the straight edge down, and then I'm going to let it and follow that straight edge, so I am guaranteed a straight line when I'm cutting. So let's get back to it. All right, so let us begin with the cutting and see how we do. Let's see, we're going to get our thing right there. Make sure I get a good straight edge on it. Make sure I'm cutting straight. Oop, got a little sticky there. That's the thing I forgot. You got to make sure you wipe these things off. You have to have a paper towel. So, right back. Okay, I sped up the video for the purposes of that it took a little bit longer than I suspected, but I think the temperature of the electric knife was not, the wattage is not big enough, and so it's not cutting faster because it doesn't have the element of heat that it needs. But I did get my L. Well, if I show it to you this way, right? I did get my L. It looks pretty good. As you can see, it heats up the edges there. It kind of does a very good job of, you know, kind of sealing it off and all that. So otherwise, if you look at it, I am pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with my L, and it's big enough. So I think it's good. So let's go ahead and cut the rest of them, and then we'll take a look at what it looks like. All right. So as you can see here, have my letters done. A couple of quick notes about this. Earlier I talked about the watts in it, how powerful it should be. It took about, I'm going to say, a minute and a half, maybe, around that, to go through and to cut out each letter. So a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, maybe 10 minutes tops. And something that helped is just kind of poking it through like this. Now I did have to have my napkin ready, and I did have to wipe it off. You want to wipe it off when it's hot, so that gunk will get off of there, and then you can go back to doing it. I probably had to wipe it with a long cut like the T's. I had to go ahead and do probably twice. But like I said, this is a $20 electric knife that I got from Michael's. It worked very well. You can see, it doesn't matter how straight or how nice looking this is. This here, the front face, is what matters. So that came out really good. So now, next we're going to look here at the colors. All right, so we're outside, ready to do our colors. Now listen, I have 4 colors here. I have green, I have yellow, I have orange, and I have purple. I'm going to decide the order of the colors later. Right now, I want to show you the paint here. At Michael's, they only carry acrylic spray paint, and acrylic is what you want to put on this. Now, they did make a disclaimer. Now, if you get something called Liqutex, I believe it's called, you know, some people swear by that. You can find that online. Sometimes you can find it at Walmart, things like that. I'll put a link down in the description below if you want to get it on Amazon. But what I find here is, he told me at Michael's, make sure it has this Design Master, because that is going to be styrofoam safe. Otherwise, you're going to get, excuse me, you're going to get you're going to melt your styrofoam if you don't have the right paint. So let's go ahead and try this out and see how the colors work. All right, quick and easy paint job. As you can see here, the colors came out super vibrant. No melting, as you can see there, none of it melted, and I was fairly close to it as well. So the colors really pop, really make a difference there, and I haven't decided, like I said, what order they're going to be in yet. You're welcome to leave your comments down below, though, to let me know what you think, but by the time you watch this video, that decision will probably be made, but your opinion still matters. All right, everybody, that's it for today. I'm going to come back to you with part 2. Probably in the next day or two, and show you how the letters look on the wall fully painted, and also a few more tips. So hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this video and you're brand spanking new, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you guys checking it out. Be sure to If you're not a subscriber to this channel, please go ahead and hit the thing over there, the thing where my head is over there, and you can subscribe and you get videos like this in your inbox on a regular basis. If you're a regular, you regular youth workers, thank you for hanging out, being a part of this. Hopefully this has inspired you maybe to do something with your room, and you can take it on as a challenge. It's not as daunting as maybe as you thought it was. So please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button that tells me you like the video and you want more of them. And don't forget to share this with somebody who might need to see this as well. So thanks guys, appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget to leave comments, and I'll catch you guys in part 2 of this video. See you later. Bye.